Hello, everyone, and welcome to Police Off the Cuff. Sorry, we had a little technical difficulty there. I'm Bill Cannon, and we have a very special guest tonight. I'm going to bring Mark in a second. He wanted me to introduce him. Our guest tonight is Robert Garland. He's an active NYPD detective from the 13th Precinct Detective Squad. And the reason he's really on the show is not because he's a superstar cop. Well, I guess he would tell you he probably is. But it's because he has a foundation called Fund the First, which is doing amazing work for first responders. Let me bring Mark and Robert Garland in right now, and we'll introduce you to him. Hello, Mark, and how's everyone doing? All right.
What's up, man? What's going on? Hey, Robert.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Bill.
On Facebook, we went live on YouTube, but I don't know what happened with it. It doesn't matter. Let's just keep talking. How you doing, Mark? Mark, you did a show last night in where was it, in Connecticut?
Yeah, I was at the Mohegan Sun. Thanks for everybody who came out. My friend Howie came out. We worked together in the Queens Task Force. I hadn't seen him in a long time. He comes out to all my shows, but it's funny because we were reminiscing for a second there, and he used to help me with my acting parts in the van when we were in the task force. And a lot of times it was either like Shakespeare or reading the female part of a play. So, and that was 27 years ago. So, so that was great. And we had another member of the service there. I never caught his name, but he came up to me afterwards. You really on the job? I was like, yeah. He goes, what was your tax number? I said, 902. That's how quick we identify ourselves. And then I also had a film producer there, a guy that I grew up with, Sandy. He came with his family. And the place was pretty, I wouldn't say packed. I don't think you can be packed now, even out there in Connecticut, not yet. But everybody was socially distanced. We had a great time. It was a lot of fun. My friend Joey Gay was on the show, Joe Pontello, Ryan Brouth. It was a lot of fun. But I'm excited about our guest tonight, Robert Garland. Welcome.
Pleasure. Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me, Bill.
AKA Steve.
See, yeah, AKA Steve. Robert. There we go.
Robert, you know what? I found out that you're also married to a cop.
Indeed, she's at work right now. She works nights.
Wow, that's unbelievable. I mean, that's incredible. You know,
you never heard that too many guns in the house.
There's a lot of sayings when you're married to another cop.
I'll show even a picture. Let's see. There's a picture of the beautiful couple here.
Oh, there we go.
Wow, look at that.
That's old.
Really are,
that's 2011.
Were you married then, or were you just?
We were married in that picture, maybe 3 months.
Wow,
that's amazing, man.
It's got to be tough to be married to another cop. You know, it's got to be really tough. I don't know.
It's got its ups and downs, but you know what? It's great because it's easy to talk to each other. You know what's going on. You don't have to explain anything. You know, so it's nice.
But then you always got to worry about your wife while she's doing her shift, and you're home.
That's true.
You're home with the kids. You know, it's like
he knows all the scams. He knows the uniform check. That's gone. She's already spent that. She knows. She knows what a pension loan is.
Oh yeah.
And you can't tell her a DAT is the day after tomorrow because you have to stay at the bar for 2 days. Tell them that, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. I remember guys used to get their checks when I was working. People used to still get checks, and they used to cash it at the corner of the bodega. Cashing your cop check at the bodega just so you can give your wife all the money.
There was one guy I worked with when I was in Midtown North. He was still doing that.
Yeah,
still doing it. Oh yeah. Still, I'm not going to say his name. He's still on the job.
You should see my wife now when we get the variable supplement. She has it spent before it even hits the bank account.
There's a list of where it's going to go.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we'll use this for that. We'll use that for this. And I'm like, why did I tell you any of this stuff? You know?
Could I have $100 out of it?
Could I just have a little bit of money out of it? You know? So, Rob, tell us about your fund for me. And it's a great foundation. And describe it to our fans and tell people what you're doing.
Yeah, so I'm sure everyone's familiar with crowdfunding as a whole. Crowdfunding, everyone's seen campaigns where people are trying to raise money for an illness, a surgery, a death, unfortunately. Good causes, toy drives, whatever it may be. But we saw a real need in the space for first responders and military to have a trusted platform where they could raise money without having to worry about anything. No scams, no fraud, nothing like that. So it goes back a couple of years. I spent the majority of my career in narcotics. I don't have much time on the job, not like you seasoned vets over there, but I'm at 13 years now, and I spent about 6.5 years in narcotics before an injury. So my shoulders hurt, so I'm out in the squad now. So we'll see what goes on with that in the next couple of months. I had surgery in July, but thank you. So yeah, we'll see.
Did you rotator cuff surgery?
I tore my labrum. I got 2 anchors.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I think you need 3.
You
it's
know,
too late now.
they want to give me a whole new shoulder, but I was like, forget it, man. It's like,
He's like the bionic man. He's got 2 new hips.
yeah, I got a left
He's gonna
hip.
get a shoulder.
I'm probably gonna need a right hip, and then I want to do my shoulder, and I'm like, it's too painful, that shit, you know?
Yeah.
Who knew the $6 million man was going to be 63 years old?
Hey, Rob, one of our fans, 12-step woman, said Robert Garland is a hottie.
Oh, there we go. Hey.
He is.
What's Mark and I are too old now to be hotties anymore. Back in the day, we were hotties, you know.
Speak for yourself. 3 years old, damn it.
You guys still got it. Don't worry. You still got it.
So are you going to get 3/4 for your shoulder injury?
I'm not going to jinx anything, but it's, I was at the district surgeon this morning. Surgery was in July. So what's the number? I think after 10 months, they start surveying you after surgery. So we'll see what goes on. Definitely.
And you have 3 kids at home, right? 1, 3, and 7. Is that right?
Yep, 3 kids.
Oh my God!
Luckily, when I texted you earlier, I got my mother-in-law to watch them for right now.
Oh,
so
wow.
she's on it. I got to go pick them up out east, but as soon as this is over. So otherwise, you'd hear screaming, banging, and everything in the background.
Oh, you have to babysit by videotape, right?
Yep. Oh yeah. Well, we got the iPad, the TV, everything. Wow. It's crazy.
I remember when my kids were small, my wife used to call me at work, my ex-wife, and she used to say, talk to your son. And then you could hear him shivering and shaking on the other end.
Oh, man.
Talk to your son. That was it. That's all she had to say. And he was like, that's all she had to say.
Yeah. No,
so you do FaceTime when you got to do it?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I didn't see my kids for 6 years. My oldest guy, when I was in narcotics, I was never home. You leave work, and I'm not sure. Bill, did you work narcotics at all?
No, I went from I made sergeant when I had 4 years and 10 months on the job.
Okay.
I went right to a command, and then I was an anti-crime, and then I went into the detective bureau with like 10 years on the job. Okay. So I never went to narcotics. I went via RIP, and RIP used to be part of patrol.
Right.
And then they made it go into the squad, so I didn't have to go into the rat squad. Because it was that if you put in for the detective bureau, you had to do 2 years in IAB.
Mm-hmm.
And I avoided that by getting assimilated into the squad from RIP. So
now there's too many guys volunteering for that now.
To go to IAB?
Mm-hmm.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. But
why do you think that is? Because they would just want to get off the street?
No, I think a lot of people think it's a quick way of getting grade.
That's disgusting, man.
Yeah.
Listen, I ran some of the biggest cases in narcotics, wire cases, taking down. I had one of my cases, 38 subjects. 38 subjects. We hit 22 doors in one night, and I didn't get grade. It's just the way the job works sometimes. Grade
is it's a contract a lot of times,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I first got to the 2-3 squad in 1997, I'm telling you, the detectives were superstars. It was one of the best squads around, and no one had grade. Not a single guy had grade.
Wow. You don't hear that anymore. Every squad's got grade, everywhere.
Yeah. What kind of drugs are, if you're allowed to say, that is in I mean, obviously, it's probably a lot of different type of drugs you're getting, but is it mostly pills when you do a big operation like that now? Is it?
So what's funny? Actually, I could speak about that case because it was it's public. I was in the news about it. We had to give a press conference and everything, and everyone's in jail now, so it's fine. That case was primarily we were buying cocaine, a lot of heroin. But one of the subjects that we didn't even know when we hit his door, he had over 1,000 pills. All what was it? Sticks. What the hell you call sticks? Xanny bars. So he had.
Hey, we've been off the job for a long time. You think we know the terminology? I was never in narcotics. I don't know any of that shit. So I know that guy's dead.
That guy. He had 1,000 Danny bars, all real, and it was just surprising to us because he was part of the gambling ring of this case. He wasn't even part of the drug scene. So to recover that off of him was pretty nice, and we ended up, getting some information off him where it went to, and it led to another case that I developed after that. Narcotics was fun. I loved it. That was the best part of my career.
Well, you can make a lot of overtime in narcotics, right? Even now, though, I hear they're cutting back on everything, right?
Yeah, everyone's cut right now. There's a lot of cutbacks in overtime. It's not the same. I mean, there was a point when I was there, I was averaging 55, 60 hours a month. There's a lot of overtime there. A lot.
Yeah, but narcotics also, there was also like, with the marijuana, like there was they were getting a bad rap, like grabbing guys in Brooklyn Heights, walking their dog, taking.
Yeah, we didn't do any weed. That weed stuff went out the window. With the past couple of years, everything going on, it was only hard drugs.
It's funny the way that works out, because when I first got on the job, weed wasn't something that you would arrest somebody for as well. When I first got on the job, if you came into the precinct with a weed collar, they throw you out. Be like, dude, freaking robbery's going on right outside the door. Go grab one of those. What are you bringing this shit in here for?
Yeah.
And then it all switched. Then the next thing you know, like within a blink of an eye, 10 years later, like I said, you're walking down the street, walking your dog in your pajamas. You got a one hitter. The next thing you know, you're in the back of a van.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I'm still doing a lot of B. You didn't do B&B, did you?
Oh yeah.
You were an undercover?
No, I was an investigator.
Yeah, because you look too clean and too healthy to be. No, because undercovers have to have a certain look. You got to look like this. You got to look street, right?
So I did narcotics in Manhattan. So basically, when you're in Manhattan, and I know a lot of the other teams that are all over the city, they're a lot in cars. In Manhattan, you're on foot the whole time. You got to be around the undercovers. And me, I had to blend in. My hair was longer. I had a big beard. I'm covered in tattoos. So you got to.
You could just put a suit on and be some guy from Wall Street. You shave that beard.
Oh yeah.
Your hair back. You unravel your tie a little bit, like you've been on a bender. I'll sell you anything.
Oh yeah, no one knows.
Because you look like you're in the city.
Yeah.
Even if you were uptown, it looked like you started partying after work, and now somehow you wound up in this drug den. You know what I'm saying? It happens in New York. It's not that familiar in like the Bronx. You have to be really get lost to be a Wall Street guy in the Bronx.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, Rob, let me ask you something. I noticed that you have a Heroes First podcast.
I do.
Are you trying to fucking compete with Mark and I here?
Are you
stealing our idea?
Very much.
Up there, though. You look like is that your gaming chair?
This is my podcast chair.
Oh, it is? It looks like a gaming chair.
It is actually, but it's comfortable. I like it.
So, Mark, he's trying to be like the younger version of Police Off the Cuff, but he's calling it Heroes First Podcast. What do we think about this guy?
That it goes hand in hand with Fun the First, so it's nice because we get a lot of people that do campaigns on the platform to come on the show. People that have fantastic stories that are cross country in first responder, military, medical professional fields, business people. So it's really great to have that show, and it just informs the community of so many different people that are coming on, especially like what you guys are doing here. Which is great. It's really great.
One of the things
I got a chair like that I use for when I watch YouPorn, but it's a recliner a little bit.
Well, this goes back. This actually has. I can't show it on the camera.
Look at Scott Wagner chipping in with $4.99 super chat. I think we missed somebody there, Bill.
We did.
We also while we were talking, we had a Patreon subscriber just jump on right now.
Wow!
Did you notice that, Elise?
I haven't. I've been trying
Elise.
to.
Hey, shout out to Elise.
Elise, how are you? Thank you so much for being a Patreon customer. Let me shout out to some of our live chatters. What's that?
Elise, she dipped in butter.
She's dipped in butter. She must love it then.
Thank you, Elise.
MC's Audio, Miss Angela Lapp, 3233, Edward Kelly, Miss Peter Prando, he's our mainstay, Lieutenant Pete, Edward Kelly, Miss Angela again, 12-Step Woman, Rachella Pranzo, Rebecca Hicks, Melody McAtee, how are you? Good to see you here. I'm trying to think. Is any Scotty Wagner? Thank you, Scott, for that $4.99 super chat. Ron Schindel, the double inspector. He DI on the NYPD. Now he's an inspector in the Port Authority. That guy's going to be living large one day down in Florida. Who else we got? 12-step woman, I said. I think that's about it. I'm renaming people as we go along. You know, one of the things that, Rob, that we love about this podcast, and you'll see too, I saw that you only had like 5 episodes of your podcast.
10. Come on, 10.
10. Oh, I thought I only saw 5. Anyway, one of the things that we love about it is the great people we get to meet. It really is fantastic, you know, and I think Mark would say the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, besides for you, everybody else was great.
What are you on tape delay, Rob? You didn't get the joke. I was like, what happened?
I thought he was talking to you, Bill.
Rebecca Hicks said I had 2 herniated discs and an artificial ones wouldn't hold, and one actually came out and was lodged in my scar tissue where they went in front of my throat area. Wow. Hey, Rebecca, we wish you the best. Sorry about that. It sounds really scary, man. You should try to get control of those discs because they'll fly around if you don't watch them.
He still thinks he's on stage, you know.
What do you say? I mean, listen, everybody's, especially if you've been banged up on the job. I don't know if Rebecca got hurt on the job, but it's one of those things. It's especially if it was in action, like, you know, fighting somebody or running after somebody with that high adrenaline. You know, that's something you never forget, man. I blew out my hamstring chasing a guy, the guy he got collared for a murder, and he tried to take off on us. And just the adrenaline that's pumping your body. I ran every day. I was in phenomenal shape. There was no reason why I should get hurt in this run. And then 3 strides in, man, because the adrenaline was pumping. Pow! Blew out. And there's a video of me running down the block holding my hamstring. And then they played it for me on my desk when I came back from work on the computer.
You know, Mark, that's what they did to me when I went to 1PP and they towed my car. When I got back, my computer had a picture of me screaming like a miniature and with my car being towed. And I'm jumping up and down yelling, you know. It was the funniest thing. I have a whole story about my car being towed at 1PP. It was funny.
Hey, Rob, how long have you been out with the shoulder now?
I got hurt November of 2019. I had surgery July 2020. So it's been a while. It was actually during B&B.
Wow.
Yeah, you're like one of those athletes that the Mets get, a superstar, and then all of a sudden he gets hurt like in the first week. You don't see him for 3 years.
Yep. Yep.
Does your wife still love you now that you're half a man, because you're a 3/4 bound cop?
I hope she loves me more.
Yeah, you take some of the burden off. And plus, like you said, you weren't home for 6 years.
There he is smiling there.
That's Brooklyn.
That was after.
You buy drugs in Brooklyn with that look there.
Look at that. Yeah, he looks like, what do they call him? No, they don't call. What's that they call them?
The hipster.
Hipsters. That's right. He looks like a hipster. All you need is a French Foreign Legion beret. You can buy in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn, you could buy a kilo looking like that.
Yep.
Look at that.
Look at that, huh?
Yeah, there he is again. There he is with the injury. He's really trying to sell that shoulder injury.
When I got hurt, I tore my bicep once, and I saw they gave me this arm cast, and the thing was like I looked like RoboCop. It was huge. Like it was. Now they make them more subtle, a little smaller.
Yeah.
I had the first original one, and when I went back, you know, when I used to go to the district surgeon, man, I used to make this whole big deal, like, you know, I had to pull it up and move it over, like from Young Frankenstein, you know, when he goes, pull it down, pull it over, put it down. And yeah, I got 9 weeks out of that.
Wow.
I hated going sick because I hated dealing with those surgeons. I don't know where they got them from. They have this assimilated rank of inspector, right?
Yeah.
And then when they say something you don't agree with, you're like, fuck, dude, what are you getting? They're like, hey. Like I'm a boss type thing, you know?
Yep.
I always had good ones, man. Every surgery that I had, I always got 9 weeks off.
Really?
Whatever the most was, yeah, I got 9 weeks.
It's pretty damn good.
Yeah. I had good ones. If I went sick, I mean, but you also, I don't know how it works now. How does the sick work now?
Same way. Nothing's changed.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, nothing's changed. As far as I know.
I knew how to manipulate that one pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're from Long Island, right? I grew up
I
in
am.
Levittown. In
Okay.
fact,
Good.
Massapequa Mustangs, when I was in midget football, they were our biggest rival. Them
That's me.
them in Farmingdale.
Yeah.
Massapequa had when I was a kid, Massapequa had, I think, the biggest midget football program in the nation.
Yeah.
And it's probably not as big anymore.
It's still
'Cause
big. They do well. Yeah, they do well.
yeah, but these kids now want to play with the computer. They don't want to play football anymore.
I know. I know.
How big
They're
is
all-
the opioid epidemic in New York?
It's still bad. I mean, when I was there, in
But it's not
Narcos,
like it still hasn't taken over the way it does in small towns, right? It's still more of like I think it's more different pills.
I mean,
Ecstasy, I think, is
yeah, out on the island, there's a lot of pills, a lot of heroin,
yeah, huh?
a lot of heroin. I mean, in the city, we were getting a lot of mix of everything for the most part. Lower Manhattan and stuff. A lot of cocaine, a lot of heroin. Pills. I mean, I was part of thousands of arrests. Pills were not the big one. It was heroin and coke.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's sort of a character you can do as a narcotics cop. Like every time you go to bust somebody, you're like, what is that? And you snatch it. All right, that's some cocaine. Like everywhere. Oh, this guy's selling ecstasy. He tastes everything. Like he's.
Yeah, that was like in those old FBI movies. The agent would taste the. Oh yeah, it's good. That's cocaine. Yeah. When are you getting tested next? You
gotta put yourself out.
We used to do. We went into an apartment that had about 500 pounds of weed in it, and we all felt like we were high when we walked out. We all got exposure numbers because I was like, it'd be just your luck to get dole tested the next day.
Oh, we've had some bad incidents. I had a guy. We were buying heroin from this guy, and we bought. It was 400 glassines, so 400 glassines of heroin, and to weigh it properly because it was a case. You got to open up each glassine. You got to wear well, I wasn't wearing a mask, and this is where it happened. I was wearing gloves, obviously, and I'm opening each one, putting it into a cup, putting it into a cup, putting it into a cup, filling it up, trying to weigh this out. I sneezed right in my face. So luckily, I didn't get any symptoms, but you got to call up. You got to get an exposure number with that, and I was scared. I was freaking out.
And dipping off.
No. Luckily, I was fine. It ended up being fentanyl too, so that's like even more scary. Thank God.
Deal right now, right?
What's that? Oh yeah,
it's such a big deal. I don't understand fentanyl. I know that supposedly a little dose can kill a large group of people, and that they're kind of mixing it in with other drugs now.
Yeah. So what they do is they put a little bit of fentanyl to kind of, even everything out.
I don't understand what that means, to even it out. Is it because it's cheaper to, like I said, cut to use fentanyl?
Yeah, you could use that. I mean, the price is actually, I believe it's more expensive than the heroin itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, they're combining them because it gives people a quicker high.
Is it a different head too?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Totally different high.
Yeah.
Totally different.
That's
Well, you're in the 13th squad right now, right? That's not a violent precinct. There's probably getting a lot more robberies right now, though. I bet.
Yeah,
right?
robberies, burglaries, petty larcenies. I actually handle the missing persons because I'm hurt. That's all I could do.
Oh, so you got to go in, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, man, it sucks. Sorry.
Oh, so you're in the missing person task force now?
No, just actually the 13th precinct has basically its own missing person unit because we have so many. Every day there's 10, 15. It's runaways, a lot of runaway kids. Most of them come back. I mean, it's rare. Maybe once a month we'll get an actual real missing, but those cases get referred to the other agencies, So.
And the 13th, that's the command the police academy used to be in, right? Isn't
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So that area right there, for those who are from New York, that's like, the police academy was on, I think, 20th Street or 21st Street between 2nd and 3rd over there.
Mm-hmm.
So that precinct covering that area gets the most amount of missings?
We get a lot of missings. You know what it is? We covered two shelters, ACS and Good Shepherd for children. So
the Grand Central Terminal's right there too. A lot of people must be getting out over there and with no destination either.
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't get it's rare. With the missings with those, it's rare. But like I said, these kids that are staying in these placement shelters, they run away every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day, but they're back within 2, 3, 4, 5 days. They come back
to the shelter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they come back.
Yeah, they probably find another place to lay their head for a minute, and then they come back when it runs out.
Yep, absolutely.
I used to always love the supervisors in those places that they couldn't care that every day this kid's running away, and it caused the police department so much work. And they're just there chain smoking cigarettes. Oh, yes, you walked out. Didn't you stop him? No, you feel like.
Well, they can't. They're not supposed to.
Yeah.
They kind of just say bye-bye.
You know what? We're bitching about the cold in New York, but I'll tell you the truth. I was listening to something today, and they were talking about the homeless and the tents that pop up. Well, I'll just give them credit. I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast, and he was talking about L.A. and the tent city that pops up over there because the weather, it's the same all year. So, like in New York, you bitch about the winter all the time, but if you didn't, right now you'd have all these freaking tent cities. It would just be all tent cities. And then, that's another problem you have to, when you're coming out of all of this, trying to, who knows? I don't know if it's ever going to get back.
Well, now you have people living on the trains, on the subway. And that's why
that's our tent city then.
Well, you're having so many incidents on the subway, people getting pushed onto the tracks, people getting, the serial killer uptown, right?
Did you see that guy that was on the tracks and the guy's yelling at him? He goes, "Hey, man, get up, man. You ain't hurt." It's one guy, he's laid out on the tracks, I guess. He goes, "Come on, man, you ain't hurt. I got to get to work, man. It's 5:30 in the morning. You're messing everything up." And the guy's like, he's trying to tell him, shh. He goes, "Nah, man, you ain't hurt, man. Get up." And he's telling the cops he's bullshitting. He's bullshitting. That's what he said. New Yorkers don't care, man.
Mark, you want to do a commercial, Mark?
Yeah, why don't we do the commercial? Hey, everybody, if you're a fan of the show, you already know that we're sponsored by Silk City Hot Sauce. It's the best hot sauce in the world. What they do is they make it in small batches using pure ingredients, locally grown peppers. That's the foundation of every bottle of Silk City Hot Sauce. Visit silkcityhotsauce.com, and you can see all the different flavors that they have, including Bobby Biggs Chipotle, Aztec Attack, Badass Chew, Slurp, Mango Madness. Visit silkcityhotsauce.com, silkcityhotsauce.com. Put in OTC, that's for off the cuff, OTC for a 15% discount, and you'll love it. The bottles are pretty small. You get it's worth ordering like 4 of them. It costs like $20 or something like that, but you'll love it. I put it on my food every day.
Wow.
What?
You don't get heartburn? No heartburn?
No, that's what does it. This stuff is the pure ingredients. Like I said, it doesn't. There's no, you got to refrigerate it. You know what I'm saying? Once you open it, it's one of those things. There's no preservatives and stuff like that. So,
Michelle Pranzo says it's hot and spicy, so they're making.
They have a lot of different flavors, man. And I'm on this diet now where I'm not. I got to avoid acidity, and it doesn't bother my stomach at all.
Oh, that's great. I had a couple of years ago in 2018 in January, I got an ulcer.
Oh
my God, it was horrible. I just come off. I used to do bodybuilding shows, and I just came off a show, and I was sore, and my doctor goes, "Oh, just take 3 Advil every 3 hours." And I should have read and noticed that those are NSAIDs, and they're going to burn a hole in my stomach.
Oh my God!
Sure enough, I burned a hole in my stomach,
wow.
And ever since then, I've been a mess. I can't. Everything gives me, angina, heartburn, and everything. I can't even eat spicy foods.
And you weren't a 9/11 responder, because that's almost 20 years ago.
No, I was in 10th grade in high school.
Well, yeah, Mark and I are both.
I was into bodybuilding too. I used to oil up the guys backstage before they went out.
Yeah. My next show, come next show.
A lot of fun, man.
I have a lifetime membership to Muscle Beach in California.
Hey, you really were. You were.
When I walk up, they know who I am. They go, "There he is."
You were a bodybuilder.
I was. I did.
Yeah, you should have put up my pictures. I didn't know that about this guy.
Yeah, I did physique.
Physique. Okay, well, I did bodybuilding.
Not real bodybuilding.
I was a super heavyweight. I competed in I don't know. It must have been like the 1990.
Really? What'd you do?
NPC,
WNBF or
no NPC Natural Eastern Classic. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I came in second place in the heavyweight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Now here's the funny thing: you tell people you came in second place, they're like, "Wow, that's great." Yeah, there was only 2 competitors in the super heavyweight. It was me and him.
I knew that was the punchline. I knew it.
I swear to God, I can show you the pictures. I still have them. I look good though, man. And everybody who was in the gym, because I was real big. I I used to walk around 270, 275. I had 20-inch arms.
Wow.
And everybody, I'm 6'4". So everybody, when I told people I wanted to compete, they're like, yeah, right. The only cut you got on your body is your haircut. And I did it, man. I did it just to spite them. I used to have a holding running thing for months while I was getting ready for the show. I used to work out at I think it was Bell Plaza on Bell Boulevard in Bayside, and there was there was a sun thing that you could see like from the roof, and the light came in perfect in front of the mirror. And every day at noon when I work out, it was a challenge, and I'd stand there and come on, where is everybody? Let's go. I had the best abs in there for a month.
You guys want to see a picture? I'll show you a picture.
Yeah. Put it up.
All right, hold on. Let me find it. I got to go back in time.
This is what we can show naked pictures of each other.
Yeah. We'll go full exposure. Let's see. Where's the picture?
Does the NYPD still have? They used to have a bodybuilding.
No, I don't think so.
They don't do that anymore.
I remember this.
No, there's a powerlifting team.
There was a guy from years ago. He was a lieutenant, John Cadiglia. He actually made chief, but every year he won. He was a monster.
Yeah, but this guy Ron Wood used to win when I was on the job, and he competed in the WNBF, which was the Natural Bodybuilding Association. I'm gonna beat you to the punch, pal.
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, it's gonna.
I competed in 2018. Uh-oh. Hold on, I'm finding it.
Our fans are getting antsy.
I know, I'm sure. Where's
I'm gonna do it. Look.
You got it? Joey Brooklyn just came on.
Look at that. Wait. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, look at you. All right. It's a little, you look like the Terminator a little.
I don't know why it came out like that.
Do you have a screen protector on? Oh, wow. Yeah. You were jacked up.
Yeah.
Look at that, me, 270.
That's impressive. Really impressive. Send it to Bill. So you put it on the screen.
I didn't know you were. You did this because I would have did it. I'd love to show those pictures.
Oh, Rob, we should really talk about your foundation because that's what's most important right now.
Yeah.
You know what happened, Bill? Bill doesn't have any pictures in his.
That's right. I don't have any bodybuilding pictures to show.
Mad. So. He's like, oh, wait a minute, man. I don't have any pictures in my underwear. So, go ahead. Tell us about the foundation here, man.
I'm getting upset now because I can't find these pictures.
Don't worry, man. We believe you, man. We believe you. We'll put them up after the fact.
Yeah, after the show. Okay. So yeah, I have a foundation and we have Fund the First. So the nonprofit that we have is called the Fallen First Reserve. And that's at fallenfirstreserve.org. And what we do is we give back to line of duty death families. So our goal is to be able to raise enough money to support the unfortunate 300 to 400 line of duty deaths that happen every year. And that's amongst first responders, military, and medical professionals. And our goal is
in New York?
No, in the U.S.
Nationally.
Really? Nationwide, huh?
Yeah. So our goal is to be able to give those families a $5,000 check. Here you go. No questions.
Wow.
So we just launched that. That actually just went live a couple of weeks ago because the IRS takes a very long time to approve all these things, especially with COVID and everything going on. So that nonprofit is great. Actually, the president of it, I'm the chairman, but the president of it is Mitch Weinstein, is a retired police officer from Florida. And he's actually in insurance right now. But excellent guy, and our team is great. But giving back to line of duty death families, it's so unfortunate to see stuff like that. We just want to be able to give them some type of support system right out the box when something like that happens. So that's the purpose of the Fallen First Reserve. But Fund the First is incredible. It's an incredible platform, and I know I started talking about it at the beginning. But unfortunately, a lot of good things always come out of something bad. Right. And, it's not always an idea that pops into your head and you're like, oh, let's do this. It's a need that presents itself. One of my supervisors and closest friends, his daughter was diagnosed with a rare disease. She ended up passing away at 2.5 years old. I'm getting choked up. So just excuse me for a second. It's hard. It was hard to see that.
Yeah.
Especially having kids and everything.
We've had people on the show with hardships like that.
Yeah, it's hard.
They have a special disease day at the police plant.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, me and Bill and I were crying like babies. Listen. Yeah,
no, it's hard. So
you talk about
with when Jason, when he was going through this with his daughter, Callie, I mentioned to him, I said, let's get you on a platform and raise money. Let's do a fundraiser for you. And he was right away. He said, no, I don't want to put her face out there because how do I know someone out in California is not going to steal her face, steal her name, steal her identity, and start raising money and say it's the same thing. And that happens time and time and time again.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, time and time again. And a perfect example was actually Detective Joseph Seals in 2019 in December. He was killed in the line of duty right here in New Jersey. Killed in the line of duty. Within 3 hours of his death, 6 GoFundMe campaigns went up.
Wow.
Boom. 6. Who are these people that are raising money?
Were they all fraudulent or?
So the union immediately came out with a statement, said, do not donate to any of those campaigns. We have no idea which one's the real one. It was really, really unfortunate when this happens because some people try to capitalize on hardships.
Wow. I would imagine that there's a whole business, now that you mentioned that, of just waiting for bad situations and people just jump at it.
There is. People do that. They jump on these things, and we see it time and time again. So when I recognize this, when Jason told me this about how he didn't want to do that for Cali, businessman in me kicked into overdrive, and I started doing some serious research. And what we did was in the crowdfunding industry as a whole, we took a data poll. And there's actually 600 million campaigns out there in the donation-based industry. And there's all different platforms. There's GoFundMe, YouCaring, Fundly. There's all these different platforms out there. There's actually 200 of them. So we took a data sample, only using keywords, using first responder, military, police, firefighter, nurse, doctor, EMT, EMS, all, the whole spectrum. We pulled 50,000 campaigns. Of those 50,000, 3% were duplicated. Now use that same metric, 50,000 of 3% of 50,000 does not sound like a lot, but now use the metric of 600 million, 3% being duplicated. That's 18 million campaigns.
Right.
That's disgusting. It's disgusting. So we recognize this and we said, and I said to myself before getting a team together, I said, I need to put something together for our first responders to have a trusted source to raise money without having to worry about anything. So when someone donates, they know that money is going to a verified source. And now how are we going to do that? Right? It's not just going to be our team making phone calls and saying, hey, 1PP, is this, is Joe Smith actually a cop? Is this his tax number? All that kind of stuff. No, there's got to be a better method. And that's why we partnered with ID.me. And I'm not sure if our listeners and you guys, if you know what ID.me is, a lot of people use ID.me for discounts at all different types of places, right? But we wanted to integrate with them in a new way. And their CEO, Blake Hall, he's a former military. He was big time overseas, did some crazy things overseas. But we connected with him and we said, listen, we want to use you guys as a brand new use case. Let's get this to the forefront. Let's get this to our platform on Fund the First. And let's verify all first responders, military, and medical professionals before their campaign even goes live. So we make sure that when that campaign is set, the beneficiary reads Robert Garland, but it has a little shield next to it. And that means verified.
Right.
And it's fully verified through ID.me. Everything happens right within our platform. We have, if you look at campaigns, if you want to bring it up, it says verified by ID.me. It's very important. So it's transparency. Everyone wants to know that their money's actually going to a real source. So when we launched, we were very fortunate. I actually, living in Massapequa, I happened to bump into Brian Kilmeade all the time from Fox and Friends, all the time. So while we were in development, I said, Brian, you got to get us on the show. Please. He's like, oh, well, let's see if this is actually a real thing, because no one knows if you're actually building something real. And then when we launched, he's like, oh shit, I got to get you guys on the show. Mm-hmm. So we got us on the show within the first week of launching in front of 2 million viewers, and it took off. The platform took off. And since July, we've only been live for 7 months. Since July, we now have 150 fundraising campaigns. And this week we're going to hit $1 million raised combined.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's fantastic.
It's really, really incredible.
I want to shout out to Eddie Scally, who runs the site Let Me Get One More Unit, which is a MOS support site. A lot of people that are thinking of doing bad things to themselves are supported by that site. Suicide awareness. Dr. Washkel, who we've had on the show, is involved in that. And they do a lot of help for cops. And cops need all the help they can get right now because we have very few friends out there in the political world. So we need all the friends we can get. And Rob, what you're doing is unbelievable because, one of the biggest things you need when something happens bad is you need money. You need
well, not
money.
Only that, Bill, to interrupt for a second, it's not always about the money. What that family is going through, and, we do it all the time. We do, unfortunately, it sounds like ambulance chasing, but it's not. When we see a death in the news or anything, I get on the phone and I call that department right away. And I say, my name's Robert Garland. I'm an NYPD detective, and I'm also from a company called Fund the First. I'm here to support you. Whatever you guys need, I'm here for you. And that's it. I don't try to capitalize on it. I don't try to do anything. I try to let them know that there is a trusted source out there that has support. And now what happens to these families, when you lose a loved one, everything's running on the way to your shoulders, right? You're losing it. Everything, depending on the circumstance, you're losing it. And there's a lot of things going on. That money doesn't mean anything to anybody. You know what it means to people? The comments that are coming in on that platform. And when you see all these comments and you see hundreds of people saying, I love you, I'm so sorry for your loss, if there's anything I could do, it's not about that dollar symbol that comes next to it. It's about that full support system that comes along with it. So and that's really important.
I could just add a comment and not send any money, and I'll be okay then.
So no, we haven't built that yet. That's actually no. So right now,
we're good at doing comments.
He's good with comments. Not so good with money.
I don't have deep pockets, but I'll comment. I'll write a story if you want.
So right now, the platform, it's not socially based yet. We're building it out a little bit more to make it more of a social platform for first responders, military, medical professionals to interact with one another. We have a first responder map on the platform, and you can see there's over 3,500 people that have created accounts on our platform, and they have little shields all over the country. If it's a green shield, it's military. If it's a blue, it's law enforcement. Red is firefighters, and so on. So even though we've had 25,000 donors on the platform so far, only about 3,500 have actually created as first responders to be part of the community. And what we're doing with that is we're going to be able to eventually build out where people could interact with one another and maybe make it into our own social platform as well, because that's another thing. We need that, we need that. First responders, military, medical professionals, we need something like that. And we try as much as we can to stay away from politics because, we got to cater to everybody. We definitely got to cater.
It's sometimes though we talk about that on the show. Sometimes, it's very tough to stay away from the politics because policing is politics, believe it or not. And it touches politics every day. And we have to talk back in regards to the people that are trying to hurt us, and a lot of the people that are trying to hurt us are politicians. They're elected officials, and we have to let them know that's not okay to do that, and unfortunately that is politics, but we have to hit back,
Yeah, no, you're right. Absolutely right.
No, it's good, man. You got some brain on you, and the fact that it's a young guy, and you're savvy with the about crowdsourcing and stuff like that, and the fact that you're getting law enforcement and first responders involved with that, putting them on your back. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, thank you. We've had quite a few NYPD campaigns. Unfortunately, a lot of tragedies. But you know what? The support of the community when these things go live. It's incredible. Especially the most important thing is sharing the campaign, right? It's not just about posting it on our platform and just relying on people to maybe donate. People have to have an emotional connection. They're not going to donate unless they know that person maybe, or they know someone through that person. So it's really important when someone launches a campaign on our platform to make sure you share it with your networks. You post on social media. You call up the news. We've done it. We've been in the news over 100 times. We call up the news for certain campaigns. We let them know, hey, get this in the news. We try our best to help out everybody that comes to our platform. And we make it more of a personal relationship. We don't just click a button and say, okay, this campaign's going live. We contact every campaign. We let them know that we're here to support them also.
That's fantastic. And how was the department with supporting this when you first were developing it?
Well, it's off-duty employment, so it's off-duty employment. We've had, actually, the SBA has shared a couple of the campaigns on their Twitter, which has been nice. The DEA has shared a couple of the campaigns that have been detectives involved through their email blasts, which has been nice. I'm not trying to work on like an official partnership with the NYPD right now because I don't want it to sound like a conflict of interest. However, getting the support, obviously, of our immediate family here with the NYPD is incredible. Everyone's starting to slowly realize that Fund the First is here, and it's the place to go. I'm not saying that because it's
a good idea because, whether you want to dedicate one episode to a specific, what is that? What each episode gets its.
Robert Garland, Duty Ron just donated $100 to your platform, to the GoFundMe platform.
Thank you, Duty Ron. Thank you, sir.
So much,
Appreciate
man.
it. Appreciate it.
So your podcast, basically, if you did one episode per cause, you'd have material for forever.
Yeah, so that's
again at some point you'd catch up. and then you'd be doing the new ones, what you just created it for what and where they could find it, and that you got material for a while.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing. I do a show every Thursday, so I'm actually booked up until June right now, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, and you can do it for yourself, which is good too, because when you think about the format and the structure, like you're just talking about which case that it's involved in and where the money goes for that, and you could build up the whole case. So it's a beautiful idea. It's brilliant. And Duty Ron is such a gentleman. He helped us out. He got our numbers from, jacked them up. Like, it was like we were on steroids. Once Judy, you were talking about the gym and stuff. Duty Ron was our steroids. We were working out every day. And we were looking good, but once we took a couple of shots of Duty Ron, we blew up.
A lot of his fans come over to watch us.
Yeah, they're good people. He's got a good following. They're nice people.
A great following,
and they're very supportive.
Duty Ron, thank you so much. Definitely, if you want to contact me, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm everywhere. So
Duty Ron, you are on steroids. You are steroids. You are a shot in the butt.
and Rob, if you want to have any of Mark or I on your show,
absolutely.
I mean, we're heroes, you know that.
I'm
just kidding. But listen, any kind of guests you want to have that were on our show, we'll reach out to them for you.
That'd be great. I call it the hero.
And then actually, who you should have? I'll tell you right now who you should have: Lieutenant Peter Pranzo.
Yeah,
the great Harlem commander from back in the day, street crime. He's a gem, and his wife Rachella will come on for free of charge.
If you want to have me on, I got to get all my. If you want to have me on, I got to get all my pictures, my bodybuilding pictures together.
Yes.
So
yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
No, you don't ever see them again.
I call it the Heroes First podcast because it's obviously first responders, but our heroes come first, right? And a hero could be anybody in life. Think about this this man that got killed a couple of weeks ago. I think it was in Brooklyn, and there was a shooting, and he jumped in to intervene because he wanted to protect his family. He wasn't a cop. He wasn't a first responder, military, anything, but he was a hero in that case, right? He was a hero, and unfortunately he lost his life, but he was a hero, and that's why I bring people on the show to talk about what they think of heroes, what they think a hero is. And then also I ask a question, what do you think your superpower would be if you could have one? And I had this one guy, he's like, I'll be the Hulk so I could yell at my wife more. And I was like, what? But it's great, like you guys said, it's so nice to meet
a lot of heroes coming up because what's de Blasio's wife's name? What's her name?
I don't know. Charlene.
Yeah, Charlene. She came up with this thing that she wants. She thinks civilians should get more involved in violent incidents.
Oh yes, the new initiative.
That's brilliant.
Didn't that work out in the summer with when Eric Adams said, you should go out there and if they're blowing up fireworks, go confront them. And then the woman went to confront them and the guy shot her. She killed her right there. And now, even knowing that's their argument. She said, okay, we're not going to get more cops or we're not going to let them do their jobs, but you should get involved in violent interactions and, step in and look. She said, look the violent person in the eye and talk to them directly.
That's crazy.
We'll see how this goes. We'll definitely see how this goes.
We also see with the social workers responding to EDPs. That's a disaster waiting to happen too.
Well, you're going to hear about it.
So today's job or yesterday's job, was it in the 7-1 where the cops responded? That was like an EDP job. The guy shot 2 cops.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that was like he shot his roommate. Let's send the social workers. They're the violence interrupters.
Oh man.
It's strange. Who comes up with these ideas? And again, I don't like to get political, but Mr. Potato Head.
No, but sometimes you have to get political when politicians do things that are so stupid without any, they don't ask anyone that's trained in the field. Could we do this? Is this okay to do this? Mm-hmm. No, it's not. For example, I spoke to someone today that's a heavyweight in the police business, and he said all the politicians are sorry that they passed the diaphragm law, but it's too late. now it has to go through court to get it reversed.
Right.
Oh, and Duty Ron brings up something good, and he said, "And the worst, Governor Andrew Cuomo." Just to put it out there, I don't want to toot my own horn, but 2 weeks ago, last Thursday, I said Cuomo's got 2 weeks left, and I don't know who we were on with, Bill and whoever we were on with. Like, no, what are you talking about? I said he's got 2 weeks left. One more girl comes out, that's it, he's finished, and then 3 more have come out since then.
It's a total of 5 now.
The governor's mansion today for him to, and he said he's not going to resign. So, am I wrong if he doesn't resign by Thursday? I don't know. I said he's done.
Actually, if you use that context, you're right.
They took away his power to, I guess, to govern in times of emergency. They already voted against that. Now they're trying to vote to impeach. So, I don't know if it's going to happen by Thursday. But I was pretty much nailed that one. I don't want to. Yeah,
I think you have it in the right context.
But what's really more egregious? It's not it's the nursing home scandal. That's illegal.
Well, this is all a distraction.
Yeah, it really the nursing home scandal is the meat and potatoes.
There are 4 or 5 other Democratic governors around the country that also are being questioned about their use of the nursing home. So that this whole sexual thing was. I feel like it was a distraction. I believe that.
Yeah,
but still, nonetheless, we found out the guy's a creep.
We found out. We always knew it.
No, I mean it's just it's kind of hard to believe too. I mean, I don't know. Just being a guy. It's like you don't have to do that, especially with that much power. I mean, if you're single, I don't know. It's just there's so many other ways to meet somebody if you're lonely. Than the people that you work with, when these are the only people I shouldn't talk to in this way. You still have another life, you still have a social life, you still go out, friends will hook you up. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's crazy. But with this foundation and with the Heroes podcast, I mean, it's just going to get bigger and bigger every year, and it's such a timely thing because rank and file police, they need help right now. They really do, man. They really need support from other avenues because they're getting beaten down every day. Every day there's a new law passed that takes away police powers.
So do you guys care if I share the screen really quick and show the platform?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Okay. Well, let me. Let's see.
I don't know if it'll let you.
Not on your end, I don't think. I think
it should. Hold on. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, I can put it up there. Hang on.
No, you can't see it?
Yeah. Okay. There it is.
There we go. Got it?
Yeah, that looks cool, man.
Okay, so this is our website, fundthefirst.com, crowdfunding for our nation's heroes. If anyone wants to start a Fund the First, all you would do is click here. If you have a user profile, you would log in or you would create an account. So I'll just browse through it really quick. These are each of the services that we have that we provide for: military, law enforcement, dispatch, firefighters, corrections, and medical. These are some of the trending campaigns, unfortunately. A lot of tragedies, as you see. But I'll click on the browse campaign so you guys could see. Because there's so many different reasons why people could raise money. It's not just for tragedy, right? It's illnesses, surgeries, deaths, catastrophic losses. It's good causes. It's business ventures. So we actually have a lot of campaigns that went live in the past day for business ventures. And look at this. So this is like a military campaign. Help us support military spouse and veteran-owned businesses. So she hasn't raised any money yet. She hasn't even shared it yet. She just went live, I think, this morning. But what's cool about this is you could set a tier. So if someone donates $500, this is her little tier system that she has. So if you select that, you can get a kickback from her, a $50 gift card or a custom amount. So it's really cool. So many different unique ways why people could use the platform here at Fund the First. And I just wanted to give you guys a quick showing of that as well. But as you see, thank you. And then this is the Fallen First. Go ahead.
No, you mentioned not just deaths, but illnesses.
Yeah, so
like that.
So if you look if I go back to the browse page really quick, filter by category: line of duty death, off duty death, illness, surgery, catastrophic loss, equipment for department, business venture, or good cause. Let's actually click on equipment for department. This is really cool. Okay, so let's say you work in a department that has been defunded, or you work in a department like this one up in upstate New York that wanted to reinstate their canine program, but they didn't have the funds to do it. They needed to raise $11,000, and look where they are. They're at $10,000 to reinstate their canine program. Super awesome. I mean, for people to think of this idea to come to our platform and do this and verify, the town of East Greenbush actually verified. They had one of their officers verify, and then they changed the name so it could reflect that. So it's really cool. You can see all the comments as well. So it's nice. It's definitely nice. We're excited about this.
A lady on here that could help you out with the dogs.
Yeah.
KK Schiller. It's called Canines for Cops.
Okay, great.
She's out of Texas, and they actually donate dogs to fully trained dogs to departments.
Really?
Yes. Just the letter K, the number 9, a little S, and the number 4, cops. That's what it is.
I'll look
Canines for Cops. Her name's KK Schiller. She's amazing.
Okay.
We had her on the show. She was great, and that was somebody you should probably connect with for that.
Yeah. Oh, actually, let me answer one of these questions. Scott, yes, retired MOS are definitely able to do it. World Trade Center victims as well. The World Trade Center victims, do you mean first responders or do you mean actual civilians? Just want to clarify, because our platform, what we do is with IDME, with the partnership, we verify the first responder, military, and medical professional credentials. In the incident of a line of duty death of one of the family members, we'll verify the next of kin, and we have a process for that internally that we do. In the event of a huge catastrophic incident, where let's say like what happened the other day in Brooklyn, if that guy, if his family wanted to come to our platform, he was a first responder, we would verify them 100%, because there ended up being a GoFundMe for it. But we would 100% allow that on our platform. But okay, so Scott says first responders, but I mean, in the incident of 9/11, if we're going to have, a lot of those people are first responders in that incident. They're running into burning buildings. They're protecting people, so we would definitely verify those families and help them out. So,
Rob, one of the things that I see, and it totally breaks my heart, is when you see a guy come home from Iraq or Afghanistan and he's missing limbs.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that guy should be taken care of for the rest of his life by the government in a very comfortable fashion. But we don't treat our military that well. We really don't.
We treat actors that well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, how about Gary Sinise?
He's awesome.
He's a saint,
incredible.
that guy. Yeah,
he's a saint. He's incredible. We're looking to contact him with our nonprofit, Fallen First Reserve. We want to do some things together. But he's incredible. What he does for the first responder community, oh my God.
I mean, there's a selfless guy, so we can't always just put everyone under the same headline actor, but he's a selfless guy that gives his time, his money. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Acosta said there's a lot of people watching live. Please hit the like button and help out our friends. Help our friends out. So thanks, Tim. That's a good idea. Yeah, Bill brings up an interesting point, man. And Gary Sinise is a saint. And you're on your way, buddy. You're doing good things. How many people are part of this operation? It sounds like there's a lot of moving pieces here.
No, so we have a pretty small, tight-knit team, and everybody falls within what they need to do for the company, right? So we have myself. We have Michael LaLuna. Michael is our Chief Financial Officer. He's a CPA in Merrick. If anybody needs a CPA in Merrick, New York, Michael LaLuna is the way to go. He's got hundreds of people, and a lot of them are first responders, which is great. There's Kevin Darcy. Kevin's a lieutenant in the NYPD, still active. He handles our communications within the company. John Eichhorn is an active police officer in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and he handles all of our talks with our lawyers, because there's a lot of stipulations, a lot of regulations that we have to do. So he does a lot of our policy building and stuff. So he's our chief compliance officer. Ashton Regan. Ashton, she is a military spouse. Her husband is in the military. He's high ranking in North Carolina, and has been overseas a couple of times. Thank him for his service. Thank you. And she's our chief operating officer. Incredible woman. She does a lot for the company. Definitely makes sure everything is up and running. And then Mitch Weinstein. Mitch overlooks our business strategy and makes sure that we have the proper partners and everything in place to make sure that this is a household name. We want Fund the First. Our goal was from launch within 2 years. I said a year, but then I made it a little more conservative. Within 2 years, we want Fund the First to be a household name across the country.
Wow,
so that's the goal. And
how did you have this entrepreneurial spirit and talent to be able to put this together?
So that takes a lot of work, right? Business is a whole different spectrum, and it's definitely way outside the spectrum of being a detective or a police officer, or military. And a lot of people, they always have an idea of starting a business, and okay, I'm going to create an LLC, right? I'm going to start an LLC. I'm not going to have any partners. I'm going to do a t-shirt business, make coins, whatever it is. But building a broader business where it's really reaching a lot of people is a lot of moving parts. And I could do a whole show on that.
Yeah.
So I could talk for hours on that. But the reason I was always business was everything to me. I always wanted to learn business. I always wanted to understand it. I actually studied psychology in college, and played baseball. But business is it's a unique world, and it's very different. There's a lot of different moving parts to business, especially with funding, capital. How do you get a business started? How do you know where to go? Do you want to be an LLC, an S corp, a C corp? How do you get a team together? How do you work on your equity shares throughout the team? How do you do everything? How do you partner? How do you draft MOUs? How do you market? How do you do PR?
That's why Mark and I have been doing this podcast for 2 years, and we're broke as shit.
Because
we don't have that entrepreneurial spirit. We just want people to love us.
No,
that's great, though.
You brought up an interesting point, which is that businesses, you find business interesting, and I don't. Like I'm horrible at it. Like my interest lies in stupid things, art, theater, stuff like that. You name it. That's where my heart goes. That's where I know a lot of stuff about. That's what fascinated me. And Bill, he likes shooting people.
Yeah. That's not true. I never shot anyone in my 27 years.
He likes putting away bad guys. It's the real deal. So it takes a whole bunch of different people. And the irony is that we all have a law enforcement background. Even though we have these special skills or interest on the side, we're still involved in law enforcement. And that's where our heart starts out.
Absolutely.
One of the things I know, Rob, you gotta jump off in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He's got 3 kids waiting to eat, and they're scratching at the door right now. We just gotta plug ourselves a little bit.
I gotta drive 30 minutes to pick them up.
Oh my God. Tim Acosta, thank you so much for that $10 super chat. The fans watching this, thank you so much. There's a lot of cross-pollination with this, and Duty Ron reminded me that we just had Carla Cacavelli on, whose dad was killed in the line of duty, off duty, but in the line of duty when she was 23 days old. And she's a big supporter of us. She sells sweatshirts to raise money for the DEA and stuff like that. All of this stuff, there's so many people, great people that we've met through this. The other thing we have to plug, please, if you're not a Patreon member, you can join our Patreon, www.patreon.com/policeoffthecuff. We have 3 tiers. For $7 a month, you're the bucket. For $9 a month, you can polish my rack. And for $11 a month, you get to dip them in butter. And that depends. You can dip whatever you want in butter, but that's the $11 a month. What else do I got to plug, Mark? Anything else?
Well, if you haven't subscribed yet to our YouTube channel, please do. If you want to put up the banner for either the Patreon or the YouTube.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Silk City Hot Sauce, folks. Check out Silk City Hot Sauce. If you like hot sauce, it's the best that I've ever tried. Pure ingredients. And put in our coupon code OTC for a 15% discount. Visit silkcityhotsauce.com. Thank you.
And that's our Instagram. There we are on Police Off the Cuff on YouTube. Please sign up, subscribe to that. We just crossed over 3,000 subscribers, but to really compete with these housewives, you got to have like in the 100,000. I have housewives doing real crime shows, and they're blowing us away, and we did that. We were really we're the real deal, Wow.
But we're getting our voice out there, and we're happy that we could share our platform with our guest tonight, Robert Garland. He's on the job right now. And he's not laying on his laurels. No, he's still going in there and looking for missing people with a bum shoulder. But he also has this company that he's a CEO called founder Fund the First.
Fund the First, yeah.
And it's incredible that the work that you're doing. I'm just overwhelmed by how much stuff and how many different people that you're helping out here. And I wish you all the best. You're always welcome on our show. And
Mark, I just got to plug some other things.
okay.
Tomorrow night, I'm doing a real crime show with an unbelievable guest. His name is Tommy Dades, and he's one of the NYPD's foremost organized crime experts. He has a book out called Friends of the Family, which has to do with the mafia cops, which he was a big part of locking them up years ago. And we're going to talk about some mafia stuff. We're even going to talk about some mob terms, like getting straightened out, opening the books, keep your friends close, your enemies closer, things like that. You spend time with your family. If you don't spend time with your family, I messed it up. If you don't spend time with your family, a man who doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man. We're going to discuss things like that.
All right.
That's Tommy Dades. Thursday, an unbelievable show. I don't even know how we're going to finish it in an hour and a half. We have Lieutenant Jack Cambria, the most experienced hostage negotiator. He's retired. And we have James Shanahan. Oh, my God. I don't know how those two are going to get a word in edgewise.
Both masters, instructors, both
right.
Gentlemen. And I'm recording another episode of the stories with Story Time with Mark DeMeo. And this one's called The Dirty Oily Guy. And that's for our Patreon subscribers. It's a great story. You're going to love it. I'm going to do it right after this while I'm in the mood. But Robert Garland, you're a true gentleman, man. God bless you. And
Thank you. Thank you. Likewise.
Rob, it was great to meet you, and take care of your kids, all right?
I will.
Pick them up, all right? It's getting late. Who are you going to be on a podcast and leaving your poor kids at your mother's house? When your wife hears about this, she's going to be like, "Are you kidding me?"
Rob, if you want, I'm on Facebook. Mark DeMeo. Just put in so this way, if you want to share bodybuilding pictures together.
Oh yeah, we can. We'll tag each other.
There's something wrong with that. I just didn't like the way that sounded. That was horrible.
I know it's a thing amongst bodybuilders.
Oh, okay. So you can apply the oil to his back, and he'll do the same. And
the front.
Whoever the pizza first gets, the other guy has to oil him up before he goes on stage. Right? That'll give us a reason to get back in shape.
Yeah. Oh man, guys, it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rob, and all Police Off the Cuff fans. Thank you so much for watching, and tune in tomorrow night live with myself and Tommy Dades. Good night, everybody.
Nice. Good night, guys.